By now, we've all pretty much heard about Temu. But today, I want to dive into whether the storage organization items are worth it. So let's go. Welcome back to The Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Eppley, and on this channel, I love bringing you ways to organize and declutter, do DIYs, upcycles, and crafty projects. But I also love bringing you solutions for organizing that are on a budget. And even though making your own or upcycling items is my favorite, I know there's times when we just have to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy something new. If you've never heard about Temu, I don't know how you've made it, but I wanted to review some of the products, compare them to where you can find them in other stores, and I want to stay right up front. Please, I'm begging you. I am not saying you should buy from Temu. I support China. Please. I'm just here sharing. You as a consumer are welcome to make your own decisions. I'm not suggesting anything. As a matter of fact, this isn't even a sponsored video. However, I am an affiliate, meaning if you choose to buy from them, I get 0.03% commission on each item that you buy. I don't care whether you buy from them or not. So if you want to come at me in the comments, I'm going to block you. I'm going to remove your comments. If you want to say something educationally about, hey, read this article, hey, research this, I'm open to it. I absolutely am. And I know that we should be buying here locally in the United States, but I don't know if you're aware, the last few times I've gone to Target, Walmart, any of my big retailers, everything I'm finding, you guys, is from China. So I don't know what the solution is with that, but please don't yell at me in the comments. I'm just trying to bring you information so that you can make a more educated decision. If the item you're buying on Amazon is priced and it's still from China, why not save the money from Temu? This does not mean I'm condoning any type of labor elsewhere. It just means I'm trying to provide information to you so that you can make your own decision. Okay. All of that being said, let's get into what I want to talk about today, which is exploring some of these items, telling you my feedback if I think they're worth it or not, showing where else you can buy it if you don't want to work with Temu. So let's dive in. I'm going to be looking at 9 different items today. So here's a quick glimpse at some of those items. And if you'd like more information about Temu, I did a whole video that was unsponsored just to dive into the company and some of the items they had, so you could check that out. I ordered these things about 2 weeks ago, and it said it would come anywhere between the last week of February and June, which was a huge shipping time. Most of the time, if I've ordered from Temu, I get a 2 to 3 week window, but this one was exceptionally long, but I still got the item 7 days later. The packages were a little worse for the wear. This is probably the worst condition I've ever received a shipment. However, nothing inside was damaged. Now, I did take the time to take everything out of its cellophane packaging, so you didn't hear all of the crinkling. I know a lot of you have sound sensitivity, but I wanted to show at least how it still arrived so that you know how much you need to assemble and what it looks like. The first thing we're going to look at is this little silverware tray organizer. It came exactly as it looked. It was just in a clear cellophane package. And the reason I ordered it is I recently moved in with my husband and we both have silverware. We're trying to decide whose we want to keep, but right now having 2 drawers with silverware is silly. So I wanted to see how this would work side by side, and I think it's going to be great. We have smaller drawers here, and I can absolutely fit 2 of these side by side, still have space behind it, and it has little slots for other random things. So I'm going to go ahead and order a second one. Even though the dimensions were on there, I wanted to see how it would really fit in my space and if I liked the extra compartment. So I think this was a great solution. The next item up is this under the sink organizer, and it looks like it has a pull-out drawer. It looks very similar to the one that I found on Amazon. The one on Amazon initially looked like it was a comparable price, but I realized that it was a limited time deal and the normal price is $26.99. This came in its own box and assembly was super easy. The plastic molded trays have 2 holes where the rods fit into. The only thing I have to say is make sure you're really pressing in. There is a snap point, which you physically feel when it snaps into place. If it is wobbly, then you haven't snapped it into place, because once I got all 4 snapped in, this was a very secure unit. It came with this little outside cup, which would be great for sponges, storage for brushes, pencils, pens, however you're going to use this, and 5 hooks that would go on the outside. So this could be used in a multitude of areas. Regrettably, I didn't measure my under sink storage, so once I put it in here, I realized the garbage disposal was on one side and the way the pipes are on the other. This won't fit. So that wasn't Temu's fault, that was my fault for not checking under the sink first, and it is too deep for any of my bathroom cabinets. So I'll find a use for it someday, but for right now I'm just going to hold it under my desk in my craft room. The next item up is this little jewelry organizer, and I wanted to see what this looked like. Maybe it would be good for my husband's medication. It comes shipped exactly as it looks. It just came in a small cellophane bag. Upon opening it, it felt okay. It has 2 little snaps in the front, and when I snapped it open for the very first time, I noticed the lid came apart. It just has 2 plastic seams. I almost broke it off completely, but I decided to just leave it alone. The compartments are small enough that it could hold a single ring if you were using to organize jewelry. I could use some cellophane shipping tape to just attach the lid again, and this would still be perfectly functional. They do sell these at the Dollar Tree, but they are definitely not compartmentalized like this, or you can buy it on Amazon for about $8. The next item up is this Velcro cable storage. I have a lot of cables in this office for my Cricut, my printer, my camera, my mics. So I wanted something that was going to be more user-friendly than those wire things that you get around bread, because I have a hard time seeing which way it's twisted, and so I end up fighting with it. I don't know if you have this problem, but I do. This doesn't look like much, but it has a double-sided hook and loop. One side is hook, the other side is loop. So now I don't have to fight with these little wire hangers anymore. This easily attaches to itself, and you can cut the length to be whatever you need, which I really like. Anytime I need to put away my wires, I can just go ahead and fold them as usual, wrap around the necessary length, and cut off and use as needed. For me, this is going to be a big help. I caution you to cut it before, because I almost cut my wire. Thankfully I didn't, but this is going to be a great help for me in my craft room with all of the wires that I have. Now, when I went online to compare prices to the 98 cents that Temu had, I was shocked at how expensive this was. So if you're against Temu, that's okay, but your next closest solution is going to be about $12 on Amazon. I'm sure there are other options out there. I didn't do a deep dive, but this was an initial quick search. The next item we're going to be looking at was a little storage bag for toiletries. Once again, this came in just a simple cellophane bag, so I took that out. It's a flattened item, and upon opening it, right away something fell out, and I realized one of the snaps was broken. This comes with 4 different containers. 2 are mesh, 1 is plastic, and this one is removable, and as I said, that was where the snap was broken, but it is plastic. So I could probably fix this for the $9 price point, but I might call them and say, hey, it was broken, and I would get a refund immediately. The purpose of this is that it folds up, and then you can hang it when you are traveling and have access to all of your easy things. I like that it has handles and that it has loops inside to hold things in place. The price point elsewhere is about $20 or more versus the $8 for Temu. But I'm sure if you liked this item, you could also go to local retailers like TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, and find something much more price point friendly. Next up were these fresh keeping boxes for fruits and vegetables. On Amazon, it's currently going for $18.99. These come nested inside with just cellophane wrap again, and I tried this out by just dumping my produce directly in, rinsing it, and putting it directly in the container. The moisture that is on there is supposed to keep these fresh longer. I'm most excited about cilantro because I'm currently keeping this in a little cup with water at the base, and it lasts much longer than keeping it, but I'm eager to see how long this holds for. Another trick that I do is I take a white wax chalk marker and I write on the outside. How did I spell tomatoes wrong? I don't know. I needed more coffee this day, but I write on the outsides because you can't see through, and this will remind me what I have. I did this about a week ago, and so far I've found that all of the items in these little containers just build up a little condensation outside, keeping my produce fresher, but it's not sitting in water. So I'm pretty happy with these so far, but me personally, I hate the look of the cute little containers. I'm not the Pinterest TikTok girl when it comes to having all the same size items in my refrigerator, but I don't disapprove if this works for you, and I was happier with the way it kept my produce fresh. So I'm on the fence. We'll try it a couple more weeks and see how I like it at the end. The next item I'm reviewing are these storage bins. They're meant for the refrigerator to stack. I immediately saw all types of storage possibilities with these. Now, I have bought similar containers like this from the Dollar Tree. The size difference, the Dollar Tree is 9 by 6, and these from Temu were 10 by 6.5. The materials are very different, except Dollar Tree has slanted edges and Temu is straight up and down. They do have small feet and nest inside each other ever so slightly. I found that they're a little more rubberized than the Dollar Tree acrylic containers, so if it comes misshapen, you'll have to just square it up with something and give it a couple of days to return to its original shape. They're also about the same height as the Dollar Tree ones. Now here's where I found I may not like these. Once you stack them all up, and it's a little tricky to stack them because it's such a small footprint that holds them, if one falls in and you try and fix it, the next one sticks and falls, so they all collapse on themselves. I found that to be frustrating. So I wouldn't recommend stacking them up more than about 2 each. However, I did use these in the bathroom, and once you have weight in it, they do nest much better and they don't collapse upon themselves, but I was only going too high. I do like them for organizing. They are the standard shelf length in cabinets and on bookshelves. So once again, if you were to use this in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the craft areas, I think these would be good boxes for organizing, and the price point is about the same for a set as you would buy individually at the Dollar Tree. Now this next item has been all over Pinterest and Facebook, so when I found it on Temu, I decided I had to try it, even though I don't have a need for it, because I wanted to show you how it works and really see if it was worth the money. When I checked on Amazon, I was shocked at how expensive they were. Yes, those are the prices right now on Amazon. Now granted, this is a 4-pack, but a 2-pack is $26.99. So even if you got the 4-pack on Temu, you're only spending $50, saving $150. So here's what they look like. They come very flat packed. You have to assemble these. And this box came all by itself, and it was definitely beat up, so I expected breakage, but nothing was broken on here. It comes pre-built. You just have to decollapse it. So you just pull up each one of the sides, and there are 2 points on each side that snap into itself. The doors open automatically, and then there is a lid. Now, as I was putting this together initially, I didn't understand what this little frame piece was for, and it came with no directions. At this point, I'm already thinking it's flimsy and I'm not happy with it. It comes with 2 types of wheels. One snaps in at the bottom like a skate would, and it would only go side to side. I don't know why they didn't make it so that you could slide it forward, but there is this other option where you snap a wheel in, and then these support the entire corner. Now, I did not snap this all the way in because I was worried I wouldn't be able to remove it, so I lightly pressed them in and they fell out immediately. But later I do press them all the way in. They do have locking feet, so this gives you the ability to slide it around or lock it into place. I'm continuing on by snapping on the second set so I can really figure this out, and about this point I realize that the frames are to snap on the top. And I don't do it here, which leads me to dislike it, but I promise it gets better. So at this review, it's very flimsy. You can see there's a lot of points that aren't connected. It didn't snap on, and I'm just not pleased with it. But I figure out some points that because there aren't any instructions, if you've gotten this in the past and hated it, this is why. There's a little lip on the inside that may or may not work for you. If you're putting in clothes or food, it's good that it has the lip, but I'm still on the fence about this, but I love the doors and I love the look of it. So are you ready to figure out how to actually put this together? The frames are supposed to go on the tabbed portions of the top. That kind of locks all of the pieces together. So I did this for the top box, and then I repeated this to put on the bottom box. So you kind of have to line it up and snap it into place. Once I did that for the top and the secondary bottom portion, whatever box you're adding just flips over it. And then do you see this little rectangle right around the handle? Yeah, that piece. You snap down the top and lock this into place. And as soon as you do that for all boxes, this suddenly became the most sturdy thing in the world. And I fell in love with it. I had no expectations of finding this to be valuable. The top has a little bit of give, so if you're using this and putting heavy things on top, I would caution you to be mindful of it or put down a breadboard or something. But this reminds me of the Sterilite totes. So if you've ever used those before, at $50 for two or $26 for two, it really boils down to if you're buying it for aesthetics more, I think it is much more visually pleasing than the Sterilite containers. And I like that if I don't need it, I can disassemble it, pop it down, and store it without taking up a bunch of space. So what do you think about this one? It's a little bit steeper than what I would normally, but I've noticed the prices on Temu fluctuate a lot. I mean, from day to day, hour to hour fluctuate. So make sure if you buy something, you are watching the price guarantee, because if the price drops, you can get a refund on the difference. So that's something to be aware of if you're ordering frequently from Temu. I'd really like to check out their craft items again. So if there are items that you would like to find out about first, if it's worth it, let me know. Send me a comment with what you'd like me to find out. You can also post pictures on my Facebook page or email me directly. All of the information is in the description below, but I'd love to try out more craft items. So let me know. I will be your guinea pig and try all of them out and tell you all about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The last item I was disappointed in, not because of the way it came, but because I realized that all of my holiday things are in storage. So as I unfolded it, this looked fine, but I don't have real input yet until I get my things out of storage. So the only thing I could say is it was about half the price on Temu as it was from Amazon. If you've already tried this one out, let me know what you thought of it in the comments, because I am curious. But once I get my holiday things out, I'll pull it out and update you later. So I'm sorry I can't try this one, but it did feel comparable to those that I've used in the past for clients. The next video I'm going to be doing, I'm so excited about, and it's going to be DIYing those upcycled storage solutions that we talked about at the beginning of the month. So I don't know if I'm going to get it out by the end of the month, because I think the end of the month is tomorrow, but I will be getting it up in the next couple of days. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button so that you get notified when that posts. And if you have any requests, please let me know. I love making request videos. I will see you all in just a few days. Bye.